Hi Year 4, it's Mrs Collins with the second part of Tuesday's maths lesson. Well done if you've followed so far. We've gone through the division place value grid method and I'm hoping you've had a go at that in your books. Now we're going to try a different method and see which one you prefer. This one's a short division method, which is sometimes called the bus stop method. I think this is because it looks like a bus stop and the numbers are inside. We're going to have a go at this exact same calculation we've just done using the bus stop method. So leave a line in your maths book and write the calculation again, 84 divided by 4. And then use your ruler to draw out this bus stop and write each digit in a box of its own. You'll see the biggest number, the number we're dividing, is inside the bus stop, 84, and the number that we're dividing it by is on the outside. Once you've done that, press play and we'll work through it together. Okay, now you've got your bus stop method set up. Let me talk you through how we do this. First thing we ask ourselves is, how many 4s go into 8? So we need to count up in 4s. 4, 8. There are 2 4s in 8. So the number 2 is written on the top of the bus stop. If you struggle with your times tables or you need a little bit of help, your times table grid in your pack will be of great use when we're doing this. The next thing we need to ask is how many 4s go into 4? So we count up in 4s again, 4. 1 4 goes into 4. So 84 divided by 4 equals 21. We've got the exact same answer that we got with our place value grid method, but we've just worked it out in a different way. Now this way is often the shortest method to use and you get through it quicker, but I know that some people prefer to see it visually and draw out the sum so that they can understand it better, and that's your choice. We're going to go through another example using each method before you make your mind up. So the next calculation we're going to have a go at is 96 divided by 4. This one's a little bit harder. We're going to use the division place value grid. So give yourself a few minutes by pausing the clip, writing this in your maths book and drawing the place value grid in your book. Remembering to use your place value headings, tens and ones. And this time we need 4 rows as we're dividing this number by 4. Press play when you're ready to go through. Okay, so I've used my counters and I've got 96 to divide into 4. You can do this by drawing the counters or base 10 into your grid. We start off with the tens, the biggest part of the number, and we're going to partition it into 4s. So we'll count up, we've got 10, 20, 30, 40, draw it in as I do it, 50, 60, 70, 80, oh, and we've got one left over that makes 90. We can't separate that into tens, so we need to exchange it for 10 ones. So I'm going to cross that out. And I'm going to exchange it for 10 1 counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. And now I'm going to share the ones out by dividing them into 4. So I'm going to start off with the 9 I started with. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and that divides equally into the 4 rows. So we've just used the place value grid to do 96 divided by 4. And you should have drawn these out into your book neatly. We now need to ask ourselves, how many is in one row? So we've got 2 10s to give us 20 and 4 1s. So 96 divided by 4 equals 24. We can see that on one of the rows. If we used column addition and repeated addition, we could say 24 add 24 add 24 add 24 equals 96. You see how that's set out on the grid method. Okay, let's try this exact same sum, but with a bus stop method. So leave a line space in your book, write the short division again, and draw out your bus stop using a ruler, placing the biggest number inside, 96, and the number we're dividing by on the outside of the bus stop. Press play when you're ready to work through together. Okay, let's go through the bus stop method to solve this calculation. First thing we're going to ask is how many 4s go into 9? If I think about my 4 times table, 4, 8, 12, I can see that 2 4s are 8, which is close to 9. So I can get 2 whole lots of 4 into 9. And what's the difference between 8 and 9? What's left over? Just 1, isn't it? And that 1 needs to move over to the 6. And the 6 now becomes 16. I'm going to ask how many 4s go into 16. Go back to my 4s again to help me. 4, 8, 12, 16. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 4s go into 16. 96 divided by 4 equals 24. And that's how we work it out using a bus stop method. You can write your times tables out at the side like I have if that helps you. Use brain-only methods or your place value grid when it comes to dividing using the bus stop method. So we've got the same answer for both calculations. Okay, we're going to move on to a third and final method of division using the part-whole model. So let's say you don't really like the place value grid method or the bus stop method and you just want to visualise it in a different way. You could do it this way by partitioning the number. Let me explain how this method works. So we've got the calculation 39 divided by 3. So we draw our part-whole model and we put the biggest number 39 in the top circle. And then we're going to partition that appropriately. So I've partitioned it into 10s and into 1s. So 30 and 9 came from 39. And then I'm going to divide each of these digits by 3 because that's what the question's asking me to do. And this is easier for me to do because I know my 3 times table. So how many 3s go into 9? 3. And how many 3s go into 30? 10. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 30 divided by 3 is 10. So how do I find my answer? All I need to do is add those two answers together. 10 plus 3 equals 13. So 39 divided by 3 equals 13. And we've solved it this time using a part-whole model. What do you think to that? Do you prefer this method? Why don't you have a go on your own, see what you think. Put another example on the board. 42 divided by 3. Pause the video and draw the part-whole model in your book, using a ruler to draw the lines. Remember, the first thing you need to do is partition 42 and then divide each side by 3. Finally, you'll add those answers together to get the answer. Press play when you're ready to go through. Okay, let's have a look. So to partition 42, you could have done 30 and 12. That would have helped you to divide by 3. 30 and 12 equals 42. Then you could have done 30 divided by 3 equals 10, and 12 divided by 3 equals 4. To find the answer to this calculation, you then needed to add those two answers. 10 plus 4 equals 14. So 42 divided by 3 equals 14. So I've shown you a third method to divide using the part-whole model. What do you think about that? So we're almost ready to start our independent learning. But first you need to choose which method you're going to work with. If you stick to one, that'll really help you to perfect your skills. Which do you feel most comfortable with? The place value grid, where you're just drawing your counters out to divide them. The bus stop method, where you're really relying on those times table skills to divide each digit. Or the part-whole model, where you are partitioning the numbers and dividing each one to find your final answer. Have a little think about which method you'd prefer. In your packs, you've got a sheet with the challenges on. This is the hot challenge for today. You can see that in your orange box, you've got some division questions to go through using the method of your choice. And then you've got a challenge question to move on to. The second sheet has some additional challenges if you whiz through these today. If you make a start and you're finding it too easy, perhaps start on the next challenge up. If you do need any help, I'm here on email. You can email me at year4@hucklow.sheffield.sch.uk. I hope you have fun with your division. I'm really proud of you for working hard this morning. Keep going, and I'll see you tomorrow for more maths. Have a great day.